I was really stepping outside of my comfort zone
Right.
at the time. The dominant feeling then was, oh, excited. In fact nga, when nagpaalam ako sa old job ko, if you're familiar with the banking industry sa Pilipinas, so yung boss namin, big boss namin at that time, if she would find out na lilipat ka sa ibang bangko,
Right.
sabihin nila, uy, pag-isipan mo naman kasi ganto-ganto tayo dito, tapos pag lumipat ka doon, gano'n. So, give.
Welcome to the Powerhouse. My name is Joshua Gonzalez, but you can call me JG. This show is for the moment before the win, when you're at the crossroads and your judgment actually matters. Each episode, I sit down with a leader here in New York City to unpack one real decision under pressure. What the stakes were, what the trade offs they faced, what they chose, and the values behind it. Then we publish a short written breakdown in the Powerhouse newsletter on LinkedIn. So the lesson is easy to share, easy to remember, and useful long after the recording. So if you ever had to make a hard call with imperfect information, this is for you. Let's get it started. Our featured leader is a consul at the Philippine Consulate General here in New York City. Among others, he is in charge of the economic section. And part of his job is engaging with emerging Filipino leaders here in the city. Let's all welcome Consul Chico Borromeo.
Thank you, JG, and to all the followers of the Powerhouse podcast. Thank you for having me. It's an
Definitely,
honor.
definitely a historic day for us. Specifically, of course, you are the second ever Filipino leader that I've interviewed, and at the same time, it will be in Taglish. So talagang we are trying to reach Filipino communities all across the world. You're welcome to visit New York, and Consul Chico is here and taking care of emerging leaders. Consul Chico wanted to say another thing. How do you feel about the Knicks winning recently in the NBA championship?
I haven't been a basketball fan for the longest time, but kakaiba yung energy nung Saturday eh.
Right.
It so happened I was coming back from an official function in Jersey.
Uh-huh.
So it took us quite some time to get back kasi no, well, those of you who are familiar with New York, sa Lincoln Tunnel parang mabagal na yung galaw, and then buti I made it in time for the almost the fourth or third quarter.
Right.
And then it's funny, hindi ko siya mapanood kasi someone else was using the TV. And susundan ko na lang siya sa phone.
Right,
Then
right.
the moment na sound yung buzzer, wala, sigaw na until about 1:30 in the morning. And yeah, I was saying, wow, what a time to be in New York City. Because for the benefit of your followers, I've only been here for 9 months.
Right. Welcome to New York.
Yeah, but it feels like I've been here for a year na kasi so many things are happening, and the pace here is it can be nerve-wracking, but it can also be exciting at the same time.
Perfect. And right now, the city, on my eyes, they're like shouting. They're very energetic. We have the World Cup. What's your experience right now in the city? Kamusta yung energy ng mga tao?
Oh, it's kakaiba in a good way.
Right.
And despite the record heat we're having, just like it's practically summer in the East Coast, and it's feeling like summer sa Pilipinas. Well, it's not my favorite season, but it's always synonymous with fun, high energy, you know, uh, you know, uh, having a good time, relaxing.
That's good. All right. Let's get our story started. Chico, tell us, where were you in life before making this big decision?
Right. So, well, as you introduced, I'm working at the Philippine Consulate General here in New York. So I'm part of government, but I wasn't always part of government. Once upon a time, I had a job in the private sector, and to get to my position now, I had to undergo a series of exams, and I had to be appointed by the president at the time. So this kind of took a while. So in the meantime, I was getting on with my career in the private sector. And then, all of a sudden, biglang dumating na yung papel ng appointment ko. And so now, I had to make a decision whether to accept it because, there's in government, according to government regulations, you have to, you can either accept or decline the appointment. Of course, I was, let's say, more or less sold on taking it, but there's a part of me as well that said na malaki-laki rin naman yung, I guess, pinundar or in English, I had invested so much into getting to where I am in my career and then to leave now, not only would sort of feel like nasayang, meron siyang specific monetary cost
Right.
involved. So because of the rules of the company that, they invested in my training, so therefore I had to render some sort of
Oh, wow.
service. And hindi makakapag-intay naman itong appointment.
Enough.
So it was so I still had to make I still had to, I was still faced with a major decision because up until that time I'd only stayed in one job and I was there for nearly or for 5 years at the time. So I was there medyo fresh pa out of college. So this was my first I was at the I guess at the edge of my first potential career move.
Right. And so take us, what were the two options that you were kind of weighing at that
Okay,
point?
well, first is I stay where I was at the time. I don't wala akong babayaran na bond and I would, see my career grow steadily. The second part was to accept that job in government service and take a leap into the unknown. But at the same time, it would have if I had decided then to take it, it would have given me sort of fulfillment of my I would say my dream that I pushed aside to, to enter public service when I was college pa ako.
Right. Wow. Interesting. So let's talk about option A first because that was the current track you were in. Let's talk about like what's the best case scenario there? What type of life would you have lived if you just continued there and not, come here to New York as a government representative here?
Well, probably if I had taken it, I recall one of your last guest was si Mr. Eric Bustamante. I
Right.
probably would be something similar to him in terms of position. Kasi
Right.
hint, bangko yung previous job ko.
But yes.
I won't say what. Siguro ganun na rin ako. But, I could, well, maybe I would have been assigned overseas as well, but, I would probably be in Manila, right? And, ano eh, I think my life would be very different because I would probably meeting a totally different set of people than who I would be seeing now. And, my, I would be comfortable, I guess, but, with a different mindset than what I'm used to. It's been a while, so parang ang hirap i-imagine.
Right.
No?
Tagal na din. And what was the worst case scenario kapag hindi ka umalis sa job mo? Anong worst case doon na pwede mangyari na you were like, we gotta avoid this thing.
Well, the company I worked for then was, I mean, it was a very good, had a good reputation, but at the time at least, it was still very traditional. So, to
Old
collect, yeah, old school. Hint, hint. Baka nagigets na ng mga podcast viewers ko. Which I'm referring to. Mahirap din mag-climb up the ladder. Maraming, marami ring nasa itaas and similar to most organizations, may laro involved if you know what I mean. And if I stayed there, I'd probably there was a very good chance as well that I could have, plateaued for a while and, just, being, like, living day to day as a, mid-level manager. So yeah, that I guess that was the worst that could have happened if I stayed.
And then for option B, taking government work, what was the vision then? What made you kind of, lean on this route then?
Well, the The purpose why I decided to try it was, because part of my work involves us being sent overseas on a almost on a regular basis. So, and I aside aside from this assignment in here, I've been to two other countries before. So I was assigned in Austria before, and then sa Thailand naman, and then
Oh,
after we get sent back to Manila. And then, so that was the biggest come on for me to take this. Actually, wala naman to sa radar ko noon eh. Not even when I was in college.
right.
What prompted me was my dad saw ads sa paper na advertising for what is known as the Foreign Service examination. So sabi niya,
Right.
subukan mo. Eh, ako naman siyempre, hindi, okay na ako sa job ko ngayon. Hindi, hindi, subukan mo lang. Have to, hindi mo kailangan tanggapin kung kaya mo, pero walang mawawala if you try.
Tama.
And then of course, I realized after, thinking it over na, yeah, this sounds like a good job, notwithstanding the perception about government at that time.
Uh-huh.
So I said, well, it sounds like a respectable job. So yeah, why don't I go for it? So yeah, and then the rest is history.
Right. When you mentioned the perception from the outside, right? What do you mean by that? For people who are not involved in these things, what was that concern?
Well, I'm gonna date myself here. So if you recall, mga 20 years ago, I mean, maybe
Oh, six.
6 o 7, o 08, pa ganon. Maybe baka, sobrang bata pa ng viewers with it.
It's a history lesson. It's good. It's good. We like it. We like it.
Well, I'm gonna say it as objectively as I can. So
Of course, of course.
yeah, well, that was the time after yung 2004 in the wake of the 2004 elections, which
Right.
were very controversial, and then there were many.
It's the FPJ Gloria
Correct.
race.
And then, if you recall, in the years that followed, there was so much, ang daming lumalabas na issue against the government at that time. Medyo magulo, so. And I think the approval rating of the president at the time was not so good. So, there was that perception na, yeah,
Corruption lang yan. Parang ganon.
or among others. So,
Others.
and so that was, I mean, I can't, it was not really a major consideration, but that did cross my mind. Like, do I really want to, get into government at such a time? So, but then I said, well, wala namang mawawala, as they say. And of course, we, in the Philippines, meron namang careers, civil servants.
Right.
So it's still considered a respectable career that people look up to. And
Right.
2 years prior, when I just graduated from college, like civil service exam din ako. So, there was, I guess part of me really wanted to, explore entering public service as an option.
Uh-huh. And wanted to kind of follow up on this. There was some a connotation in public service. Of course, young leaders like you want to say like, "Hey, may pag-asa pa." If I can come, I can make it better. Why not? Was getting that appointment paper, that specific kind of result, did it feel like biglang nag-open yung door or na-feel mo bigla, na-disrupt yung buhay ko imbes na nagko-corporate ako, business na lang, biglang napasok ako dito. How did you look at it?
Well, I think I would say that the door suddenly opened na, okay, this is it. Kasi I remember that day very clearly. I think it was even a weekend. Nininong ako sa that time ng anak ng kaibigan ko.
Right.
Then someone sent me a copy of an appointment paper from the office of the president. Na nandun yung pangalan ko sa.
Oh,
I think right there and then, I think the following day, kinuusap ko na yung boss ko kasi we were being told na, may kailangan leave na date for us to assume. So I think by then, I think I had sort of made my mind up na on what to do, and dealt with the costs that came with it.
got it. And what was that? What was? at risk then? Like aside from like maybe leaving a better paying job, but then or leaving good people na friends mo in like in this company, what was at risk moving to government that you really felt like kailangan maano ko to, agapan or something?
At that time, it wasn't very clear to me at kasi excited ako nun eh.
No.
So, well, the risk was, at that time din kasi, there was a new, if you recall, there was a new president, bago pa lang yung president after President Arroyo.
Yeah.
And medyo hopeful yung mga
There's a vibe. There's a vibe.
vibe na gano'n. At the same time, dahil, and I say this very objectively, because, they wanted really to build everything anew. Medyo magulo pa yung patakbo ng mga papel nun. So,
Right.
so I said, "Ire-risk ko ba na I'm going to file by this date
Right.
and then have a prolonged, a prolonged period of unemployment?"
Ah, okay, may ganun pa. Okay.
Yeah, kasi because I mean, they were still wondering on kailan na kami magsa-start kasi bago rin yung head ng Department of Foreign Affairs at that time. So,
Ooh.
thankfully, I didn't have to wait that long before, but although it was a welcome break, I would say kasi after 5 years, dire-diretso, there was a moment na, I was uh, technically unemployed, but it only lasted for less than 2 weeks. I mean, the week after, nag-work na ako ulit. So, yeah.
Got it. And just based on your perspective, yung decision mo ba noon was more of, is it public sector versus private sector, or it's something like comfort versus the public service dream that you potentially kind of wanted? How did you look at it?
I think it was it's the latter, public service versus comfort. So, I think I may not have realized it then, but I was really stepping outside of my comfort zone
Right.
at the time. Because, the dominant feeling then was excited. Na makukuha ko na yung also yung in a way na pinaghirapan ko din.
Right.
So, in fact nga, when nung nagpaalam ako sa old job ko, if you're familiar with the banking industry sa Pilipinas, very common yung nagpa-pirate ng ibang bangko. So, yung big boss namin at that time, if she would find out na lilipat ka sa ibang bangko, kakausapin ka niya.
Right. Right.
Sabihin niya na, "Uy, pag-isipan mo naman kasi ganto-ganto tayo dito, tapos 'pag lumipat ka dun, gano'n, gano'n. So, give it some thought." I did not get that thought kasi hindi naman ako lilipat.
Right. Right. Okay.
See how things have changed since then.
Right.
Sabi pa niya sa'kin, "Baka naman puwede mong ma-explore yung cashless payment for passports or visa." Fast forward to now, it's now the norm rather than the exception. So sabi ko,
Here we go.
you believe ka rin sa pagiging form."
Malakas, malakas. I'm glad. I don't wanna spoil kasi wala pa may nabanggit na name. I just wanna say like, sila ba gumawa ng GCash or hindi?
Ay ano,
Sila ba yung gumawa ng GCash or hindi sila yung bangko?
medyo damay sila dun.
Okay, okay. Let's backtrack. So, what did you learn quickly in making this decision? Ano yung mga na-experience mo na valuable na ma-share mo?
Well, you have to be, I mean, well, in the Philippine setting especially, na we at the time, in a way until today, it's not easy to move. You have to, ang daming papel na kailangan i-fill out. There are so many processes. So I had to learn to be thorough, very
Wow.
thorough, to be patient, and to um, don't be detail oriented, which I'm still working on until today. So at that time, siyempre kukuha pa ng clearance, etc. Eh, pagpapasok ko na dun sa within a short lead time kasi yun nga, nagmamadali na yung isa, yung the Department of Foreign Affairs, where I'm affiliated with. You know, I wanted us to start at next date. So yeah, I had to, go through the bureaucracy at that time. Although I had some experience na kasi I had my undergrad sa UP, sa public university. And in a way, mga students doon, I don't know until now, exposed na rin sa bureaucracy pag nag-enroll or pag may
The day-to-day, right? The day-to-day.
day-to-day. So,
Pila-pila talaga yan.
pila talaga, no? Kung I don't know how it is now.
Got it. Okay, Chico, let's kind of try to end this conversation, first half of the conversation to what was the rule looking back na masabi mo, okay, young leaders of tomorrow, you can use this rule, you can apply it right away. What was that rule that you wanted to share with them in making big decisions?
It doesn't hurt to ask another person. Although for myself, I didn't have that opportunity kasi the people I were exposed to then were either solidly for or against yung paglipat ko. But now, thinking about it now, if there was really a tough decision that I had to make, it wouldn't hurt to, and I do this sometimes, it doesn't hurt to ask what we call mga disinterested third parties to see, just what they think. Because, they might give you a totally different viewpoint on the issue and malay mo yun na pala yung eureka moment mo. So, it doesn't hurt to, I mean, you don't have to feel pressured na to take their advice.
Right,
You're just asking. And
right.
so, tama lang mawawala. Sometimes you get so stuck with, what's in front of you. Yung pala, there's a whole new perspective na.
All right, Chico, we are now heading into the entertainment part of the Powerhouse NYC podcast, all about New York City. Are you ready?
Go for it.
All right, let's take it slow in the morning. What is your go-to coffee, and where are you getting it?
I always go for black with a little milk sometimes. So mostly I prepare it at home.
Right.
But if I'm pressed, I usually get it from, and it's not a paid advertisement.
Not an ad, just simple shout out.
Or our go-to sa consulate, dahil katabi lang namin si Fabric along
Oh.
5th Avenue between East 45th and East 46th.
So if let's say we're meeting, I'm buying you coffee, you'll take a black Americano, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or
Do you like putting Splenda in it or what? Do you like putting Splenda or you just like it black?
I just like it black. If at all, lagyan ko ng milk or cream. In which case, sometimes a latte would work, but I'm a black coffee guy.
All right, awesome. Next question. Ito naman yung tinatawag na typical New York question. Let's talk about bagels. Bagels, baby. The best bagels in the world. What is your go-to bagel order and where will you get it?
Actually, I rarely eat bagels outside, but if I would do, I just get it from anywhere. I prefer yung sesame bagel, probably with lox or the typical bacon, egg, and cheese.
All right, that's a good bagel.
Uh,
That's a good bagel for sure. And I agree. Sometimes you don't need a branded bagel. You just need something toasted
mm.
with like sesame on top, cream cheese, lox. You're good. Scallion, right?
Yeah, if you're asking kung saan kami, now that I think about it, I don't know if you're familiar with Too Good To Go.
Too good to go. Yeah, yung it's like yung misshaped food, right? Parang ganon.
Oh, yung hindi na nila inaano but still fit for ano. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's an expensive place to live in, and I'd like to credit my wife for being very good with our so minsan nagtutugot. I'm not ashamed to say, yeah, we usually patronize mga Too Good To Go.
Let me look at it. I have not really got exposed to it, but Honestly, I'm knocking at poverty here. So I'll take two. New York is I'm not if people who haven't been to the city don't understand how expensive it could be, and it is brutal. To be honest, like good deals are already like, oh my god, like airport prices everywhere, especially in the city where you work. Because I work from
Yes.
home,
Uh,
so
Correct.
got it. Okay, this is good. This is good. What's a local spot that deserves more attention?
All right. Um, I live somewhere between First and Second Avenue, and there's a sort of esplanade along the East River, which runs from somewhere some 14 East 49th Street, near FDR Drive, up to the city, and even beyond. It's a very good place to take a walk. Kasi hindi
Right,
mo namamalayan, malayo na pala yung narating mo.
right.
So, if you're looking for a place, just to gather your thoughts or, uh, get the steps in. Yeah, I'm not sure what it's called, but, it's a very calm and relaxing place to go. And yeah, there can be quite a number of people there as well, but doesn't get too close. May view ka pa ng East River, so medyo nakaka-relax siya.
That's lovely. I love it. That's what we call a hidden gem talaga na hindi man lang natin alam yung tawag, 'di ba? Maganda lang. So yun yung magaganda. I guess it's almost like Midtown to Upper East Side, yung mahabang gano'n, 'di ba?
Yeah, yeah.
That's I haven't been, but I can see it from the park.
You probably can see it from Long Island City or
Uh,
from yeah, Queens.
from across, 'di ba? Nice, nice. Very good, very good. I love it. What's your worth celebrating restaurant? Medyo maraming tao, a lot of people that's coming to celebrate you. Where are you booking?
Okay, again, not a paid advertisement, but
Not pay that, just,
yeah. But since I got here, two of my favorites so far, my go-tos are uh, La Pecora Bianca in Socarat, and there's also a nice place along Third Avenue. It's a Sicilian restaurant, Norma at ang pangalan.
Norma, baby. South
Oh,
Italy,
Sicilian.
Italian cuisine.
Oh,
Norma. I don't tell people about Norma that much. It's a really good Italian place. Hindi lang siya basta Italian, like
oh,
sa tabi
oh,
Sicilian food, right?
Sicilian food. Sarap. It's
Oh
pretty
yeah.
nice. Mm.
I love my wife loves it there. Yung problema lang medyo maliit yung lugar, but and then wala rin reservation, walk-in lang yata. But that's a good spot. I miss that. My wife loves that parang pasta na parang may isda-ish yung dating.
Yeah, yeah, I think that,
Kulay green or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
ah, well, of course, there's Renee's, which made it to the top 100 best restaurants ng New York Times.
Talaga, Renee's? I haven't been. Is it in
Yes.
Queens or
Sa
where's Renee's?
Woodside,
Woodside.
sa Woodside. And then we recently had an event at Traditional in Chelsea.
Okay, okay, on the west side.
Uh, yeah, I'm basing it on, where I actually. So yeah, I guess those two would be, uh, places to try out, Filipino food for those.
Sure. I want to make a shout out as well to Chef. It's not paid ad, but I really love the guy. It's a Filipino tapa bar in Lower East Side, 87 Ludlow Chef Aries. Of course, sad to see Google Room is no longer there, but we have 87 Ludlow. Talagang magandang tambayan. I suggest just tapas. That's what I like in their order. Yung Filipino food nila is also good, but I prefer their tapas.
Mhm.
If you see, I'm not sure if our Chef Iris still kept it, but if you go to 87 Lando and you see like a flat screen TV monitor in front of their store, ako yung nag-ano sa kanya na, naglagay sa kanya na. Yeah, like advertising, it's an AI screen. So I'm always thankful for Chef Iris. Very, very supportive and hopefully naka-bring ng value sa kanya. I know he's going to the Philippines. I know this, kaya hindi siya makapunta nung cocktail party coming up for the Powerhouse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Next is What subway behavior should be illegal? Just want to say to people watching, maybe from the Philippines, yung subway dito, iba yun doon sa Pilipinas, Walang security guard sa subway dito. So, iba-iba yung mga nangyayari. So, what is a subway behavior, a Consul Chico, that you feel should be illegal?
Oh, that much.
Right. There we go. Okay. Good, good, good. So, ano yung answer mo dun? Parang space. Gusto mo space.
Yeah, people should, be respectful of space in general.
Got it. Any subway memory na pinakamagandang experience or pinaka-shocking
So that
experience?
you
What can you
have
share?
Hunter.
There we go.
So
Not a paid ad.
we were so ko na sabihin kung sino. Sabi niya sa'kin, "Uy, 'di ba si ano yun?" Sabi ko, "Hindi." And then just to check, ginugol ko. Sabi ko, "Uy, siya nga." Tapos lahat ng mga tao nonchalant. Tapos, as it happens, 'di dumating na yung train namin, sabay-sabay kaming pumasok.
Right, right, right.
Then, I don't know if our micro expressions gave us away, pero part ng mga kasama niya nakatingin sa'min na smiling, saying, "Oh."
Right, right. Pinoy ba 'to, Pinoy or hindi? US celebrity or foreign? New Yorker celebrity. Okay, okay. Blind item, blind item. Did you guys get a photo or wala
Hindi,
or
hindi na,
convo
hindi na.
convo? Wala rin.
Hindi. Masyado hindi
Oh, wow. Something that happened to us because my wife is pregnant. We went to this I guess Bambi Baby store.
Hmm,
Sa para upuan ng chair nila for rocking chair. And then sa likod ko pala, sabi ng wife ko, "Oh my God, si Aubrey Plaza." Sabi ko,
ah,
yung wife ko, kahit isang tao wala kumausap, wala nagpicture. And that's New York.
mm,
New Yorkers, we don't get super starstruck sometimes, we're just chill, especially if they just live in the city.
okey.
They're regulars.
Well, since you named your celebrity, sige, I'll name mine.
Okay, okay.
I I don't know if you're familiar with Christy Brinkley.
Christy Brinkley?
Christy Brinkley,
Let me see. What show is this? I see.
who appeared in the Uptown Girl music video.
Oh, classic, classic. Wala to.
Kasi yeah, so far siya pa lang yung organic encounter namin na ano.
Right. And I want to clarify, like, I didn't see Aubrey Plaza. Everyone else saw her except for me because she was standing behind me. So I
Ah,
missed it.
okey.
So I just want to say, wala pa akong nakikitang celebrity sa New York ever. Sa wife ko na dumaan sabi, "Oh, si Sam Smith yun." I said, "I don't even know the guy. I can't see faces." Yung mga ganon. So I'm like a lot of people, but sobrang daming tulad mo na sometimes nagbabike-bike lang ng city bike tapos nakaka-red carpet pala yung sa harap, di ba? You just don't know. Things are always
Mm,
happening.
yeah.
Let's see. What's your New York City neighborhood? Which New York City neighborhood is basically your personality and why?
Oh, I had to give this a lot of thought. Well, if you would compare me, probably I'd be the financial district
Oh, sa FIDI? Okay, okay.
because of my background and
Right.
yeah, because I'm a generally no nonsense and very straightforward guy. Oh, but it's not my favorite neighborhood.
Okay, it just describes your personality.
Describes me, but yeah,
I see, I see. I get you, I get you. You're seen here. So if New York had a signature smell, how would you describe it and what would you name
yeah. Oh, pinag-isipan ko ng malayo, matagal 'to, eh.
it?
Alam mo yung, well, most of my trips, so, this is not my first time to visit, New York City. It's yung amoy ng exhaust, steam coming up from underground.
There we go. Okay, that's very New York. That's very New York, right?
Yeah, and, hindi siya yung parang kunwari nasa Manila ka, hindi siya yung amoy ng exhaust dun, eh.
Di siya kanal.
Hindi siya kanal. Parang ano pa rin, eh, malinis pa rin yung
Oh.
dating nung exhaust. So, and, yeah, it's, among other smells, but this is the most dominant, wherever you go. So,
You just tell people medyo mainit yun, yung umuusok na yun galing sa ilalim.
yeah. Mm. Yeah, yeah, and,
Uh,
yeah, even in summer. So, that's that, industrial, for lack of a better term.
yes, that's good. You know what? This is a very unique answer. A lot of people say pee, poo, or pot.
Uh,
This is good. This is like a different type of pot, like a pothole.
uh,
Right. I think this is a very mid-down thing too. You
yeah,
know, right, right. I like it. I like it. I
uh,
like it. Good insights. Good insights. Let's go with in New York, you can blank.
in New York, you can leave your former life personality at the door and, take and then get the one you always wanted, or you can come as you are and, find a way to thrive.
Wow, that's good. And yeah, elaborate on that. Elaborate on that. How did you come to that conclusion?
Well, after 9 months here, I realized na, speaking as someone who's transplanted here, works here, um, minsan hindi, people here, I mean, sila mamatahin kung anong
Right.
background mo. Short of saying they don't care, which can work either way.
Either.
It gives you an opportunity to, you know, totally reinvent yourself, be someone who you always, wanted to be, or it gives you the freedom to, uh, do your thing, do whatever you're comfortable with. And but as I said, somehow the city kind of gives you this opportunity to thrive. Kung ano man ang whatever you want to mean. And this is, I guess, also evident in my encounters with, Filipino community here. I see that they are thriving and they are into all sorts of all very different fields. And they find a way to, to make better their lives. Like,
Good.
it's a land of opportunity. You just need to, where to tap it. And the city can seem very daunting to some or scary, but actually, people here, can, and if you connect with the right people, matutulungan ka.
Love it. Love it. What's the most New York thing that you've ever done? I know you're just 9 months in, but what's the New York experience like?
Most New York, I mean, I never did this in Manila before. Yung maglakad na naka-AirPods.
Damn.
And
Okay. 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 That's good. That's
makinig lang music habang naglalakad.
yes.
Then minsan may tatawag pa. So,
Right.
the first time that happened, parang it felt surreal na, may kausap ako pero walang nakikitang may kausap ako.
Right. Right.
I
Right.
mean, try doing hindi mo magagawa sa Manila yun. Yeah. And,
Malab.
yeah, I was gonna say, maging nonchalant, maging sa mga celebrities. Yeah, kasi, kasabay namin si Christy Brinkley on an uptown train of all trains. So,
There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Last question. For the audience, what did New York teach you?
well, taught me so far, the lesson I've learned is, you put your heart to anything, if you if you ano man magagawa ka, there's always something you can do, you can accomplish if you find right the right connections, the right people. Parang puwede kang, it's not a place na, you can be idle. There's always something na may magagawa ka, eh. Most especially, uh, as working in the consulate and with, our mandate. There are many, many things. Ikaw mismo yung we can get overwhelmed minsan by the vast, endless opportunities available. So, I guess, but it also taught me na, don't, don't pace yourself out. I mean, marami kang pwedeng magawa, but, don't get burnt out kasi the city also, you have to also enjoy what the city has to offer. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, thank you so much, Chico, for joining us. I really loved our conversation. Tell us who should reach out to you and where can they find you?
Right. Well, as you all know, our consulate is located at 556 Fifth Avenue, and we're on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, and we also have our website for those for more information, and our contact numbers are all there. And well, you can reach me personally through GG here. So he has my all my details, and yeah, we are, you know, actively reaching out to the members of our community here in the US Northeast. And in my case, especially, we are especially reaching out to our young Filipino American professionals who, may want to network with others similarly situated, or who may want to share their stories as well. Because, I think you can learn a lot by networking and even inspiring each other, I would say.
I see. All right, perfect. Chico, what would be your final remarks to the emerging leaders watching right now, inspired by your story?
Well, I would say na if the only thing that's preventing you from moving where you are is the fear of change or the fear of moving, move just the same. Kung yan, that's the only thing that's stopping you, because there will be moments in your life that you will have to deal with change. And while some may offer, the prospects of some may be very good, the act itself, it can be uncomfortable. I speak from experience. Sometimes, 'di ba, minsan sasabihin natin, "Ay, ayoko kasi natatakot ako, or hassle pa na lumipat. Dito na lang ako kahit di ako masaya." So, don't sell yourself short. Don't stay. It's only the fear of moving which is preventing.
If you're serious about making better decisions in your life, career, or business, subscribe to the Powerhouse. Every episode, we unpack one real decision under pressure so you can learn from leaders across New York City. And if there's someone whose story we should feature next, drop their name in the comments. I'm JG, and I'll see you in the next episode.